Welcome to another edition of Focus on Alternatives, sponsored by ADISA, the Alternative and Direct Investment Securities Association. For more educational content like this, please check out the resource library at adisa.org. My name is Greg Mausz. I'm your host today, and I'm joined by David Itzkovits, the co-founder of Optimal AdvisorAI. David, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
And obviously by the name, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence today. You are the co-founder of this firm. Tell me, what inspired you founding the firm? What problem are you trying to solve?
So I think that one of the main challenges that financial professionals have is that there is this new AI revolution that's taking place. And there are all these tools that they can use that they know they need to use. They just struggle at where to start. How do I use AI? How do I incorporate it into my company? Every firm, whether you're large or small, are trying to deal with this challenge. And with all the AI noise that's out there, there seems like a new tool is being launched every single day. The real crux is around training. How can I find the use cases that are valuable for me to apply in my day-to-day work to save time, enhance client connection, and drive growth? And that's what we do for our clients. We simplify AI. We're their AI learning partner.
Makes a lot of sense. Desperately needed, because you need a good source of truth, not just checking out the random YouTube videos that are out there. You've now worked with thousands of financial professionals. What are some of the patterns you've seen of how they are using AI?
So I think to start, one of the patterns that we're noticing is it depends where you are in your AI journey. So some people that are not using it currently, there's a level of hesitation or fear around that. And usually they need to see a use case that they can apply in their day-to-day job to get them over the hump. And once they move past fear and they start with just a simple use case. So as an example, we'll say, write an email using AI, or write something as simple as, help me create the agenda for this meeting. What's really interesting is that once you see a financial advisor or a financial professional use AI for the first time in a very simple use case, it sort of builds confidence, and they start to apply it in their everyday job. It starts to build a little bit of momentum. So that's for people that have a little bit of fear and are not using it at all. Then there are people that are just starting to use it. And the biggest challenges that we see there is that, like everything else, when you try something for the first time, particularly with an AI model, it could seem like a big win in the form that you have a blank page, you ask it to create something, and it will create a full page of information for you out of thin air. And that seems magical to a human, right? And for them, they think, wow, I'm really using AI effectively. And that's the big key. They're not actually using it effectively. They're using it. But the challenge is they haven't learned or been trained in the techniques to really apply it well. So let me use an analogy. Let's say you were given a very powerful CRM tool, but were never trained how to input information into that CRM tool or how to pull a report out of it. You can go in and you can start using it, and you'll probably get something out of it, but probably not to the effect and the power that was created behind it. And that's the same thing with AI.
Very true. Tools are powerful, but if you're not properly trained on how to use them, they don't reach their full potential. Are there some key areas where you see financial advisors struggling with using AI?
I think it starts with the prompting process, because AI is directly related to the better your prompt, the better the output. And there are certain techniques that is very difficult to just pick up without having any training on it. So they're putting in prompts and they're getting a response, and sometimes they're a little bit underwhelmed by that response. And that actually leads to their concern around AI. Versus had they understood some of the techniques that they could apply in that specific prompt to get a better response, their output would be better. Their response to AI would be better. Their enthusiasm around AI would be better. So I think that's one of the key learnings is, like with any new technology, there is a skill that needs to be developed. In this case, it's the skill of prompting.
Perfect. That's a great lead on to the next thought of there's a lot of hype out there. There's a lot of noise. How do you cut through that? What's real? What's not? Can you walk us through that?
Sure. I think, again, the humans change behavior when they see value in something. And with AI, they need to see the use cases that apply specifically for them. So as an example, we are only in financial services. But even within financial services, there are different stakeholders. You could be a financial advisor. You could be in asset management. You could be in investment banking. You could be in marketing for a firm. And when you see a use case that's specific to your role that will help you save time or create content that's much more effective or be able to grow your business, that's when you see the real value in these tools. And again, different tools do things differently. And again, it's about the application process within it. And once you start to use them and you apply those use cases, that's really where things start to take off.
What do you mean by different tools do things differently?
So as an example, obviously there are multiple AI models out there, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Claude, Grok, you name it. What we found is many of those tools can do a lot of the same things, meaning that you can ask it a question and it's going to give you a relatively similar answer. Some models do some things better than others, but there are particular AI tools. So as an example, let's say you are trying to do note-taking in your firm. You wouldn't use a ChatGPT or a Microsoft Copilot to do it, or you can use Copilot, but there are better tools that are out there that will do that a little bit more effectively. So when people are starting to use AI, there are all these different ways to use them a little bit more effectively, depending on the use case that you're trying to apply it for. So we always start with the question of, what are you trying to do? What's the problem you're trying to solve? And based off that, you can then decide which AI model you want to apply. The only overlay to that one particular question, which is a really important one, is around data security and compliance. So particularly for larger firms, compliance is key, and they need to protect client information, and they have data to protect, particularly for those firms themselves. There are tools that are better suited from a compliance perspective for larger firms than others. So again, you might think that DeepSeek could give you fantastic answers, but from a compliance standpoint, it's probably not the best tool given that it's Chinese in background. And again, that's why most firms either they're dealing with Copilot or they're dealing with, as an example, a ChatGPT enterprise version.
I'm glad that you brought up compliance because that defines our industry and is critical, and it protects investors. And I'm glad that you brought that up. What are some of the most practical, high impact use cases that you're seeing today for advisors, asset managers, investment bankers?
So from an advisor standpoint, it's clear around client connection and how to grow your business. So most advisors, as an example, they want to connect with current clients a little bit better, and they want to be able to grow their clients. So how do you connect with clients? Let me give you a real example. Let's say you have a client that's in the home building business and they are in the Seattle region. Now, you're not in the home building business. You don't really follow what's going on in that industry. But before you're meeting with that client, you can do research using AI to find out, hey, tell me some of the aspects of taking place in the home building region. What are some of the challenges in the industry right now? Give me an overview or a summary. Now overlay what's taking place from a regional perspective in Seattle. Why do you say that? So then you walk into that meeting with your client a little bit more knowledgeable about what is taking place in their world on a daily basis. That's great for current clients. You could apply that same thinking to a new client. If that home builder from Seattle is a person you love to be able to bring into your network and love to be able to service, before you're meeting with them for the first time, when you do that type of research, not just sort of their background or what their company does, but the background of the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis, who are they most likely to choose as a financial advisor? Someone that knows and understands their business or someone that doesn't? And walking in with that knowledge and information is incredibly valuable. From an asset management perspective, it's never been harder to get in front of a financial advisor and get their attention. The number of products that are out there and the number of emails that an advisor sees on a daily basis is just tremendous. It's very difficult to get their attention to get them to be able to buy your products. So how can you communicate the value of what your asset management firm does and your products do to a particular advisor? Here's where using AI is incredibly helpful, because you can summarize very lengthy and meaty documents into quick and easy, understandable and relatable points for a financial advisor. Here's how you do that. You could take a fact sheet. You could take a 60-page PDF presentation and summarize it into the 5 to 7 key takeaways. What are the pros and cons? What are the liquidity features? What are the things that will be important from a financial advisor perspective? And then communicate that in a simple and easy way.
I love these examples that you're giving, focusing on saving time, enhancing client connection, and driving growth. Any other high value examples that you can share? Because they're inspiring.
Well, first of all, thank you. So I think besides saving time, enhancing connection, driving growth, the key learning is how you actually leverage these AI models. And there are 2 specific ways. The first is searching to getting answers. And this is where everyone started in the AI journey, which was, I need the answer to a question, and the AI can get me that answer more effectively. If you think about human history, how people have communicated information, first it was verbal, then it was through books, then it was through computers. My assumption is if you had to look up any piece of information over the last 20 years, you probably used Google. Now what you can do is you can go into an AI model and be very specific about what you're looking for. If you think about how Google works, it's a little bit of your question is the needle, and it's this huge haystack. And normally when you put a question into Google, you need to now search through links, etc. With AI, you've eliminated all these haystacks that we've been trained to sort of look through, and you can find the needle directly. So that's searching to getting answers. And that's a huge value that people found very early on with generative AI. But the stronger use case, and the one where people are starting to move to, and one that we talk often about, is using AI as a thought partner, as a strategic thinker, as you're making very important decisions, either in your business or professional life. What AI can do is it can help you brainstorm. It can help you identify patterns or trends, give you new ideas, different perspectives. It can help you brainstorm around everything you're trying to solve. What's really interesting about AI is that you have within it a PhDs, experts in every single field. AI has read everything on the internet. It's reading every article, knows everything, but you have to be able to ask it the right questions to get that information out. But if you're able to access this room full of experts and use it as a thought partner to help you look at things in a different way, ultimately all these tools will do one thing, which is help you make better and faster decisions. And when you use AI as a thought partner, you're now moving from just using it from searching to getting answers to getting insights. And you're using it not just as a tool, but as a partner to be able to accelerate what you're doing from a professional or personal level.
Sounds like AI will help you work a lot smarter. Thank you for sharing that perspective on that thought leader, thought partner, co-decision maker. That's fascinating. Now, AI is moving at crazy speeds. It's in the news every day. Where do you see things going over the next 12 to 18 months?
That's a great question. We get this question all the time. I think in literally 12 months from now, there's going to be 3 types of people. And we're not just talking about financial services here. We're talking about really every industry. There are people that do not use AI. And I think those are the type of people that will be challenged the most, because we often talk about the idea that AI, it's not humans versus AI. The AI will not necessarily replace you, but it is humans with AI versus humans without. So you won't be replaced by an AI, but you will be replaced by a person that's doing exactly your same role, but leveraging AI, because they will be able to do things better, stronger, faster. In 12 months from now, there will be 3 groups: a person that's not using AI, and then a person that is using AI, but has just sort of done it themselves. They've gone in, they've started using ChatGPT with no formal training. They will get answers, and they will be able to do things better than a person that is not accessing AI at all. But the quality of their answers will only reach a certain level. Then there's a third group, which we call really sort of AI evangelists or experts. Those are people that have taken a little bit of formal training to understand the techniques and strategies to be able to leverage the AI more effectively to get much more in-depth and much better answers. The quality of their outputs will be significantly better than that second group that is still using AI, but not to the same level. And I think that in every organization, you're always looking for that next leader or that next expert to move forward. And I think the people that will be able to leverage AI on a daily basis in a thoughtful way to really create phenomenal outputs, those are the people that are going to move ahead in these organizations.
Completely agree. Those that are able to adapt innovation and apply it, they are the leaders that you want to be promoting and moving ahead. Okay, you laid out those three groups. For someone that's wanting to level up their AI use, what's the next piece of advice you could give them?
So it depends where they are in their AI journey. If they've not used AI before, here's a real simple one. You go to one of the public models, let's call it ChatGPT, and tell it a little bit, give it a little bit of context about what you do or what your role is. I am a financial planner. I am an analyst. I am a CEO. I am a managing director. Give it a little context about your role and give it a problem you're trying to solve. And actually say to the AI model, give me 5 to 7 things that I can start to do in my role or leverage AI to make my role more effective. Meaning that you're asking the AI to give you recommendations about how the AI can help you in your current role. Now you're starting to engage with the model. It understands a little bit of what you do. It's giving you a little bit of a roadmap of about how to engage with it. If you are a different group, now you've already started to use AI, you're beyond that sort of first group that's never touched it before, I would say find a trusted partner. That obviously could be us, could be another group, but find someone that you trust. Don't go at it alone, because you can spend thousands of hours trying to learn these techniques through thousands of prompts. I spent personally 3,500 hours with these models, 15,000 prompts between our team. We have a team that all we do every day is trying to get the best out of these AI models. No one has the time to really do that unless that's their full-time job, right? You already have your full-time job. You don't have time to really learn how to learn these techniques. So leverage someone who's done the hard yards, who can fast track your AI adoption. So you're moving from this idea of AI knowledge to AI application. And that's what I would say I'd tell people to do.
That's fantastic. And what I like about you guys is that you're dedicated to this space. So you know the problems, you understand the use cases, you understand the terminology, the vernacular, and what were the drivers for growth. So I'm really glad that you've chose to focus in on financial services in this sector. If people want to learn more about Optimal Advisor AI, how do they go to do that?
I mean, feel free to contact me directly at davidI@optimaladvisorai.com. You can look at our website, optimaladvisorai.com, and feel free to reach out to us. We work with, very large firms as well as very small ones as well. Our goal is always the same, to really help our clients start to use these models more effectively, to enhance everything that they do on a daily basis, to save time, to grow their business. Our background is in financial services. I've been in financial services for 25 years. I was a private banker, so I understand how advisors work. I worked for a global asset manager, so I know what those asset managers deal with. My best friends are all private, investment bankers. We've been doing with those clients for many, many years. So we understand the processes of what everyone sort of is, the challenges that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And we customize all of our use cases to our end clients. But feel free to reach out to us and just have a conversation. Many firms are at the beginning process where they're still also trying to script their AI strategy. We'd be very happy to attend one of your AI strategies, and we can help you by giving a little bit of context of what we have, a little bit of a 20,000 foot view of what a number of other institutions are doing. So we can apply best practices in the industry to what you're doing. So again, if you're a firm with 100 advisors, or you're an asset manager with 10 billion in assets under management, you're not the largest, you're not the smallest, but again, you're trying to craft your strategy going forward. I think we can help you fast track that process, tell you what's working in the industry, where people are finding value and where they're not.
David, thank you for walking us through everything AI for financial services. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It really was an honor.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of Focus on Alts. Again, for more content like this, please visit adisa.org. And we'll see you in the next episode.